I'm Myckena Guerrero, and thank you for joining us here on the Solano College Sports Network. Today I'm joined with Solano baseball head coach Scott Stover. Coach, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure.
It's your 15th season coaching here. A new year means new expectations, but what excites you about this year's team?
We're really excited about the young group of guys we brought in. Our freshman class is really exciting to watch. You know, last year's group, the freshmen, there were some good kids and they worked hard. There was just too many of them who couldn't overcome the adversity as quick as we needed them to. Now those guys have that experience, so that freshman class we brought in is really athletic. Putting those two groups together is pretty exciting for us.
And after the season is over, we take a little bit of time to reflect and then we move on. But if there's one thing that you could change from last year's season to improve this year, what would it be? You
know, it's just being prepared, more prepared, and I think we weren't prepared with enough of the right guys. And we didn't fill enough holes in our recruiting. You had some guys who were injured and you had some guys who get homesick. So this year what we did to kind of repair that was we went out and got more guys to provide more depth for our team. So I think we've done that, and that's one thing we felt good about, especially at the middle infield position. We went out and we got 4 shortstops who could all get moved around. Still had a couple injuries with that, so we had to bring in 1 or 2 at the break. So I think we've cleared out the mistakes that we made last year.
And that leads me to, what are your guys' team goals or your own personal coaching goals?
Well, with the team, we split it into academics and athletics. The one doesn't have to be ahead of the other, it can be simultaneous. We had 14 freshmen come in this year who were made the dean's list or president's list. A couple of sophomores had over 3.0s. So we want them to continue to thrive in the classroom, which helps provide them better scholarship offers in the spring. As a team, athletically, we want to get on the field. We want to get off to a good start, stay healthy, learn from our mistakes, don't really care about wins and losses the first few games, and then after the first maybe third of the season through non-conference, we'll have a better idea who can do what for us and just get in the conference red hot, hopefully. And with so many new players on your team this season, who do you believe is going to make the biggest impact? You know, we brought in 2 transfers at the break. One's from UOP, Vinny Margiota, played at UOP last year in about 13, 14 games. A shortstop out of Riverside by way of University of New Mexico. They're really athletic. They can field at this level because obviously they can field at Division I level. So I think those guys are going to help impact-wise. Michael Driscoll, returner from last year, has had a good summer, had a good fall, swung the bat really well. So we're looking to him to do some good things. Jared Denning, who's a local student-athlete from American Canyon, he came in from the University of Utah, so he should hit the middle of our order and catch on a regular basis. And then there's a couple freshmen we're excited about. Roberto Diaz out of Bethel. He came in as a shortstop, made him a center fielder. He had a tremendous fall for us. He's a lot like Joey Dodson in the sense he can play short, he can play second, he can play outfield. He doesn't talk a bunch, which is good for me.
Yeah.
So he's a good kid, he works hard, so I think that's one person who's kind of be our catalyst to our offense.
And Coach, when you have a team, it becomes more than just baseball. You kind of get that family aspect out of it. But when you recruit from all over, how do you as a coach create such a bond?
You know, the recruiting part from all over is based on this network, obviously. Those kids seeing the games on TV, so that helps us. Having the clubhouse is a big plus for us. So with all the rain, you know, we stayed underneath our 12 hours in the fall, but even with the rain in January, we had to go somewhere. So in the clubhouse, they really developed a bond that way. I think it's not really intentional, but I think the way we do things, it kind of provides these guys a way to have to be near each other a lot, even when they're not on the field. With so many guys living off campus housing, guys kind of hang out together. So even the guys we brought on at the break, it seems like they bonded with the returners pretty fast. It's just kind of the environment we've been providing.
And the thing about Solano baseball that I've noticed is that there's such a high rate of athletes that go on to play at a 4-year. But what is it about your program that gets these athletes ready to go on and play at the next level? You
know, when we do our recruiting, you know, we insist that the parents are there, for one. So we kind of really feel out the parents and see what their goals are for their sons. If these guys don't have goals to go on to a 4-year school and just want to go to junior college, we don't really pursue recruiting them anymore. Yeah. So we want to make sure they want to do that, because you have to want to have a goal at the next level. And then we provide them all the information they need, the FAFSA financial aid, all the transfer rules through the NCAA, the IGETSI here. Nick Cittadino, our athletic counselor, has been doing a great job the last year and a half, along with our AD, Eric Visser, of giving us the resources to help these guys push along. And it prepares them more for it. And we've had guys come back saying, "Wow, you did more academically than some of my 4-year counselors have done." And that's what I want to do, prepare them to get out there and have success. And hopefully when they get out there, they're only 2 years away and they see light at the end of the tunnel, and they're excited to get it done.
And like you said, being a student athlete is so important. And what advice do you give to your athletes so they not only perform well on the field, but in the classroom as well?
The biggest advice I give them is do it right the first time. You know, when I went off to school, my parents didn't go to college, but they were very good parents, and they pushed me as far as they could, but they didn't know what it took to be a student athlete at the college level. So I had to take some classes over, and when I got done playing college baseball, I had no degree to show for it. Went back to school 3 years later after working a bunch of odd jobs and coaching at college for no pay. And so it took me a while to get it done. I tell these guys, do it right the first time. You have all the resources here. Your parents are supporting you financially. Take advantage of that. Get it done in 4.5 years. 85% of the kids respond. Some just don't want to do it, and they'll just go to school and take their 6 years to do it and not play a sport. That happens too. But I think with what we're pushing and getting their families involved has really helped and made it a little more goal-oriented.
Yeah, I was looking on the site last night, and I saw that they all basically made the 3.0 club, so I think that's so important.
Yeah, it's been a plus. And again, when Terry Pearson Bloom set up that Academic Study Skills Center at STC, it's helped us flourish. It's good because I don't have to sit in a study hall room for 3 hours a week doing that extra work, and we can provide them tutors they need for math, writing skills, learning how to study for a history test. I mean, it's been such a huge plus. So Sean Carney over there and the rest of their staff have done a great job, and I think that's has been a big part of us flourishing in the classroom.
Well, Coach, the home opener is coming up on Saturday against Merced. What are your projections?
We'd hoped to have a scrimmage. Last Saturday we got rained out. So like today the guys got on the field. We got some water off, so winter squad tomorrow. Weather's going to look good for the next at least week. So our guys are excited to get out there. I don't have any high expectations, and not because I don't want to be disappointed. With some injuries in January, you don't want to push some guys. We have our second baseman, Andrew Flores, has been hurt. So we're going to have to play without him to start off. So we just want to get out there, let guys kind of get their feet wet. Not a ton of pressure, enjoy the atmosphere. It'll be a good first day. Ryan Lipkin's going to come and throw out the first pitch, and he'll be in our Hall of Fame. He played in the A's organization, played on Team USA.
Oh, wow.
We have a lot of alumni coming out to watch too and support us, so it should be a good first day. So we just want to get through the first one, keep everyone healthy, and just have a good, sunny, fun time.
Now, we've always asked the players if they had any pregame rituals, but is there anything that you do specifically before each game?
Typically, we're having to set up everything so much. Our biggest thing is just the coaching staff gets in the clubhouse after BP when the other team's hitting and just kind of takes a deep breath. We eat, whatever we get the team sandwiches or, the coaches. But as for a total team ritual, no. I mean, I don't wear the same socks if we win.
Okay.
As a player, I was like that, but as a coach, there's no time for it.
Yeah.
So it's nothing too typical. We just have our routines that we stick with.
Okay, well, Coach, this is totally off topic, but who's your pick for the Super Bowl?
I like how hot Atlanta is, and Tom Brady, he's obviously with us his 7th Super Bowl, and he's won 4, so he'll be going for his 5th and broke all these records. I'm going to say Atlanta. I think they're just cocky enough to get through it.
Good choice, because
Yes.
I was going to be a little mad if you picked the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I would go with the Falcons. Plus, it's the Falcons. Got to go Falcons.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Coach, for joining me here today. Good luck on the season, and can't wait to see you guys on Saturday.
Thank you.
As always, on behalf of Coach Stover and myself, thank you for supporting the Solano College Sports Network, and we'll see you next time.